Ever wondered what makes American football so exciting? Well, it's not just a game of brute force. It's a strategic battle, a test of wills, and an exhibition of athletic prowess that captivates millions. Born in the late 19th century, American football was inspired by rugby and soccer, but it has since evolved into a unique sport that's quintessentially American. It's a game that's cherished from coast to coast, from the small towns with their high school pride to the sprawling cities that host the pros. At its core, the objective of American football is straightforward: score points by advancing the ball into the opposing team's end zone. Whether through a darting run or a soaring pass, each play is a thrilling combination of strategy, strength, and speed. So it's all about strategy, strength, and speed. But let's dive deeper into the rules of the game. Understanding the basics of American football can seem daunting, but it's actually pretty straightforward. Let's start with the structure of the game. At its core, American football is a contest between two teams, each made up of 11 players. These players fill different positions, each with their own unique responsibilities. On one side, you've got the offensive team, the guys trying to move the ball down the field and score. This includes the quarterback, who's like the team's general, calling the plays and often throwing the ball. Then you have the receivers who catch the ball and the linemen who protect the quarterback and make space for the running backs. On the other side, you have the defensive team whose sole aim is to stop the offensive team from scoring. The defensive line, linebackers, and defensive backs work together to tackle the offensive team and try to take control of the ball. Now, the game itself is divided into 4 15-minute quarters. There's a halftime break after the second quarter, giving the teams a chance to regroup and strategize. The field is 100 yards long, not counting the end zones at each end. The goal for the offensive team is to get the ball into the opponent's end zone for a touchdown, which is worth 6 points. They can also try to kick the ball through the goalposts for a field goal, which is worth 3 points. There's also a safety, which happens when the defensive team tackles an offensive player in his own end zone. That's worth 2 points and is a real game changer. Scoring in American football is a thrilling spectacle, from the strategic push and pull of the teams to the sheer athleticism of the players. It's a game of strength, strategy, and sometimes a little bit of luck. With the basics out of the way, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the game. The strategies. American football is not just a game of strength, but also of strategy. Now that we've got a grip on the basics, let's dig deeper into the mind games that are played on the field. It's time to delve into the strategies and tactics that make American football such a thrilling spectacle. Let's start with the offensive strategies. The two primary approaches here are running and passing plays. Running plays are all about power and determination. The offensive line must create a path for the running back, who then charges down the field with the ball. It's a physical, hard-nosed strategy that tests the mettle of both teams. On the other hand, passing plays are about finesse and timing. The quarterback drops back, scans the field, and delivers the ball to a receiver. This requires a high level of skill and coordination from the entire team, as the quarterback must have enough time and space to make an accurate throw, and the receiver must be in the right place at the right time to catch it. But what about the defense? They've got their own bag of tricks. One of the most common defensive strategies is the blitz. This is when the defense sends extra players to rush the quarterback, hoping to disrupt the play before it can get started. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that can result in a sack or a big play for the offense. Another defensive strategy is the zone defense. Instead of each player being responsible for a specific opponent, in a zone defense, each player is responsible for an area of the field. The goal is to confuse the quarterback and force him to make a mistake. So you see, there's a lot more to American football than just running and tackling. It's a game of chess played at breakneck speed, where the right strategy can be the difference between victory and defeat. Each play is a battle of wits, as the offense and defense try to outsmart each other and gain the upper hand. So, we've tackled the strategies, but what about the penalties? Let's jump into that next. In American football, penalties can often turn the tide of a game, and that's no exaggeration. Penalties, whether minor or major, can significantly impact the game's momentum and ultimately the final score. Let's start with one of the most common penalties: holding. This occurs when a player illegally restricts another player's movement. It's a bit like dancing. You can't just grab your partner and hold them tight. It's about finesse, not brute force. Holding can cause a team to lose 10 yards, a setback that can make a significant difference. Next, we have pass interference. This often happens when a defender hinders a receiver's ability to catch the ball. It's not a game of tag. You can't touch the receiver before the ball does. The penalty? The offense moves to the spot of the foul, potentially gaining substantial ground. Then there's the false start. This is when an offensive player illegally moves after lining up for, but prior to, the snap. Imagine you're at a track meet and you start running before the gun goes off. That's a false start. It results in a 5-yard penalty and can disrupt a team's rhythm. Penalties not only affect the game by shifting field positions and changing the score, but they also influence team strategies. Coaches and players must constantly adjust their game plan based on penalties. A team with a habit of accruing penalties might have to play more conservatively, while a team facing opponents with frequent fouls might take more risks. But remember, penalties are not always negative. They can also create opportunities for teams to learn, adapt, and improve. They add an extra layer of excitement and unpredictability to the game, keeping players, coaches, and fans on their toes. Penalties can change a game, but it's the thrilling moments that make it unforgettable. Let's explore some of those. American football is full of thrilling moments that keep fans on the edge of their seats. And it's these moments that make the game such a spectacle. Picture this: the clock is ticking down, your team is 4 points behind. The quarterback launches a Hail Mary into the end zone, and as if in slow motion, the ball spirals through the air. The crowd holds its collective breath as the receiver leaps, stretches out every muscle to grasp the ball, and lands. Touchdown! The crowd erupts, the stadium shakes, and the underdogs take the lead in the final seconds. This, my friends, is the thrill of American football. How about the nail-biting suspense of a game-winning field goal? The scoreboard reads a tie. Only a few seconds are left. The team lines up, the kicker measures his steps, the snap is good, the hold is clean, and the kick, it's high, it's long, it's good. The jubilation, the relief, the sheer exhilaration. It's a moment that's worth every second of the nail-biting tension. And let's not forget the incredible interceptions. The quarterback drops back, scans the field, and throws. But wait, out of nowhere, a defender leaps into the air and snatches the ball. He lands and starts sprinting towards the end zone, dodging opponents, his teammates blocking for him. The crowd roars as he dives across the goal line. An interception, a game changer, a moment of pure, unadulterated thrill. These are just a few examples, but they represent the unpredictable, heart-stopping, and electrifying moments that are at the very core of American football. It's a game of strategy and skill, yes, but it's also a game of high drama and suspense. It's a game where heroes are made and legends are born. It's a game that can change in the blink of an eye, and that's why we love it. These heart-stopping moments are part of what makes American football so exciting. But what have we learned today? So, we've explored the exciting world of American football. We've delved into its fascinating beginnings and how it has evolved into the thrilling sport we all know and love today. We've tackled the game's basics, from the essential rules to the intricate strategies employed by teams. We've taken a hard look at the penalties, the necessary evils that keep the game fair and exciting. Indeed, football is more than just a game of touchdowns and tackles. It's a strategic ballet, a test of strength, speed, and intellect. It's a spectacle of thrilling moments, from last-minute comebacks to heart-stopping interceptions. It's about the camaraderie in the locker room, the roar of the crowd, and the joy of a hard-fought victory. Remember, American football is not just about the touchdowns and tackles. It's about strategy, skill, and the love of the game. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite football moments in the comments below.